What's good, everybody? The boys are back for episode 53. If you were counting at home, we are counting here because it's quite the number. We didn't think we'd ever be here, but another Tuesday, a little later tonight. But here we are, boys. How we doing?
Feeling great, brother. Feeling great. We got a great guest in Reason coming on today, man. Looking forward to chopping it up with him. I got a good question for you guys. Greatest 53 ever on the Dolphins roster. That's a tough one.
53?
53. I can't think of one. I'll be honest with you.
We'll see if Reason has one.
Question out the gate, son.
I mean, hey, it's the 53rd episode. I'm thinking to myself, what's a good 53?
Well, Calvin Noy.
Next week will be an easy one to get.
Yeah.
Did Kyle Van Noy wear 53?
I'm not even sure.
Well, dude, fucking Larry Izzo wore 53.
Nice pull, dude.
Nice
I
don't think I know anyone else.
The PA kid got it. Bobby, how we doing?
Van Noy did wear 53 though.
Doing good. I don't know about y'all boys, but it's getting hot as hell here.
Brother, it's in the 90s every day here at like 10 a.m. It's insufferable.
Yep.
It's getting hot.
It's insufferable.
I got my tan on. I got my.
You were glowing. I thought you were pregnant.
I get my Kenny Powers jersey on for tonight because
he's lucky it's a Kenny Powers jersey. It looked like hella Jets.
Yeah, motherfucker. I come on, and Eric's like, "Why are you wearing a Jets jersey, bro?"
I mean, look at it.
No. I'm not gonna lie. Before you showed me, I thought it was a G Baby jersey.
Nice. Also elite.
Ooh,
very elite.
Ghost not in his bag like that yet.
I'm so proud of him.
Listen,
we're very proud of the progress he's made, but he's not in his bag for a G Baby jersey. Like, that's not happening.
I came from 3 years ago. For those who don't know, I came from the Trailer Park 7s to the Dunk Lows, and then I got the fucking Jordan 1s, baby. We're stepping it up 1 year at a time.
My boy went from the Vans to the Dunks quick.
Joe and I have been putting in hella hours.
Hella work, dude.
He's getting there. So, ladies, if you like what Ghost is putting out there, you're welcome.
It's only going to get better.
Just saying.
It's only up here.
But yeah, like Joe said, we got a great guest tonight, Reason from Phinside The NFL, ready to chop it up. Boys, you ready?
Yeah, let's do it, brother.
Let's get it.
I'm putting the helmet on as always.
The opportunity is right now.
Terrific defensive play. Intercepted. Off the block. On the move. Going deep. Speed race. He's got Hill. He's got Hill. The Dolphins have recaptured the lead.
Woo!
Here we are. Reason, my dog. What's good?
What's going on? How you doing, boys?
Oh, just out here living the dream.
Another day, another dream for a Dolphins fan.
First things first, we got to know, Reason. How's the video? Business to business.
How's the what?
How's the intro video?
Oh yeah, Finn. Yeah, that's my guy right there. And he's another content creator in the community is going to be coming with an intro, courtesy of him too. So spreading the love, man. He's awesome. He's one of the best in the biz, man.
Yeah, that's put that together. I think it was like 2 days he put it together because
faster.
And he's like, "Yo, this isn't my best work. Just let me know what you want changed." And I don't think we changed this. I think we put in Alec Ingold because we were like, "Yo, we have Alec Ingold coming on. Can you put the hurdle in?" And he's like, "Fuck yeah, I got it." And
you guys need to update it for season 2 with clips from the show with you guys with players.
Ooh.
Yeah,
Bobby's been in his bag. I'm not gonna lie.
Bobby handles all tech.
Listen, FinHub, Reason. Tell your boy to text me back. This dude, we talked about this before. Dude, this guy's busy. I know he's busy. Bro. I don't cook.
This guy's got like 4 or 5 businesses on the roll. He's crazy.
I know he's busy, but no, there's no one that needs to do our intro but FinHub. Like, I would never try to take that off his hands. And
he'll tweak it for you properly,
he's an artist. I would never try to do that. That's too big of a.
But you guys need to show off the guests you guys have had up here. Show it off a little bit. You know what I mean? Throw it in the intro.
Ghost has been saying the same thing, believe it or not.
I would agree with Ghost. I second that notion.
You goddamn right I've been saying that.
Ghost never likes attention, does he?
Listen, it's what makes you guys unique. The problem with, and no one wants to talk about it. So once again, Reason will be the one to talk about it. The problem with
here we go.
No. a lot of it, because let's be honest, we're one of the franchises with an oversaturated market of podcasts, but a lot of it is just regurgitated same stuff. What you guys do, something that makes you stand out from not being one of the regurgitated same things. So you might as well show it off, because that's the heart and soul of your show, right? So, yeah, it's not bragging, it's showing what you guys have done and earned, and et cetera, So I don't know. You guys have stood out. So
I think it's pretty cool. Like, I think we should definitely have the players in the next one, but I think it's fucking awesome. There's no cooler thing when we've had players that were in like the cameo, and then they come on the show and they're like, oh shit, I saw myself. And then when Engel came on the show, he's like, man, you had the hurdle in there. So like,
gotta have the hurdle.
Yeah.
Pretty sick.
I think the funniest thing about that video now is half of those players are gone.
Yeah, that's why you need to update it anyway.
Yeah,
right?
you were talking about something. Let's talk about that. That's a ghost reel now.
Yeah. I think we had all agreed to wait on to see what is happening with Tyreek to like really see if he had to make some big adjustments. But it's status quo for right now, and he seems to be in the lab. I guess he can stay on our intro video.
And by the way, shout out to our king, Ethan Bonner, in the orange jersey, setting the tone.
Let's go.
Yes, sir. Friend of the pod.
Friend of the
season
pod.
warrior, baby.
He's coming on, dude. We're getting him back on.
I mean, if he was ever going to have a chance, it's this year, right? Like, you got to, I mean.
That shit is wide the fuck open, brother.
Great white hope.
I don't know, man. I find it hilarious that it kind of looked like the Weaver defensive regime was kind of but Fangio was all in on him, right? Fangio was all in on him, and we all saw the potential. And then Weaver kind of pumped the brakes on it. I'm not going to lie to you. I actually kind of laughed, and I mentioned on my show tonight at the orange jersey, because I've been talking about this. I've been mentioning this the past couple weeks, and all of a sudden now he's getting an orange jersey out of nowhere when they showed him no love at all last year. And I was kind of like, this is, because I don't know if you guys know this, Dolphins listen to everyone. Don't matter whether you got 1 subscriber, 100 subscriber, 1,000, 100,000, listen to everyone, right? Every franchise does. Everyone keeps their ear to the ground. So I just thought that was funny. I thought that was because, did they even give him a chance last year? Did he really even get a legitimate chance? I didn't think so.
I feel like those guys had a lot of camp, and it was just, at the time, like, the cornerback room was Kendall Fuller, and it was Jalen Ramsey, and then Cater Code was the
whoa.
Yeah, I think Eric just had to stay on mute for a second. But anyway, yeah, I think Jalen Ramsey's room and Kendall Fuller's room. Cater Code comes in as the incumbent as the slot, who's probably getting pushed to boundary. He does like playing the boundary, and he's gotten more comfortable with it. But and then you got guys like Cam Smith they're trying to fit in. It's kind of tough. But he does have the talent. Talent's there.
I would have given him a shot. My point is, I would have given him a shot last year. Like, as Weaver implemented that, there were reps for Ethan Bonner to have last year. You know what I mean? I thought so. I thought he earned the reps after what he did in year one with Fangio. So I'm actually in his camp on this. I think he didn't get a fair chance last year. So I hope the orange jersey means something, because I've seen Liam Eichenberg wear this thing multiple times. And I mean, we've all seen how that's worked out. So, show me something more than the aux cord is where I'm at. You know what I mean? Let me see Bonner gets a legitimate chance this year, because he deserves it, man.
Yeah. I think we can all agree that the orange jersey is like a cool thing now. Like, whatever, good for morale. It gets the timeline going. It gets me going. Everybody gets excited about it, but I don't think it really translates to anything. But like, Bonner looked good in the preseason. He was the first guy off the bench after Ramsey and Fuller. Yep. He looked good. He looked the part. He played decent. And then the season gets here, and it's just like on ice. It was just like no explanation, on ice. And I'm not saying he's like an all-star. Like,
but what a great athlete! Like, come on,
incredible. And he's one of.
Didn't he have injury?
Yeah, Eric, you're in the struggle bus, dog.
Oh my God!
I'm not sure.
Sounds like the dude who's trying to launder money from you, and like with the fake voice in the movies.
He's got the scream. No, we'll get a log back in. No, I think it was just last year too. Last year, you got to really think. There was a lot of weird things that were happening with the roster. Like, we had Raheem come on, and he's gone to Oakland, so he could talk about whatever he wants. And even he was like, just sometimes things didn't make sense. You weren't given a reason why you weren't playing. There were times where, like, I knew I should have been in there. So, like, and I know Bonner's not that guy who's going to be the Jalen Ramsey, like, compared to Raheem Mostert, the Fuller compared to Mostert. But, there's things that were going on in that locker room that didn't quite make sense. Doesn't mean it's dysfunctional. It's just, maybe weren't open with the players, but it's wide open this year until they sign someone. And I don't really see a trade happening. Like Ramsey's probably gone.
Probably.
He's gone. He's gone. My boy.
I think they're exploring a trade in for sure. 110%. I think they're exploring a trade in, but I don't know if one's going to materialize.
Asante Samuel Jr.'s out there, but that cervical injury, that's tough. That's very tough to just have. And he'd be on a team right now. He should be on a team, but that's tough.
But okay, I agree with you. He's probably your best option out there.
Yeah.
But wouldn't you feel more comfortable with him just as your solid number 2? Like not leaning on him as your, that's where we're at right now. Like, and what kind of irritates me about the situation is you knew around the combine this was an issue. Why wasn't this addressed? Instead of, listen, I would have loved Dre Greenlaw and Joey Bosa. 110% sign me up for that front seven with what we have. And maybe Calais would have came back. He would have been enticed a little bit more. But, man, corner should have been a priority a little bit here. Like I would have personally, the whole problem with, Jonas Savaiinaia and moving up with him and people having an issue with us trading up, to me, you would have had to trade up anyways from 98 to hit that corner run, right? Because I would have tried to target a Savon Rebel or someone like that in the 70s. Honestly, after I made the Savaiinaia pick, I would have been trying to move back into the 60s or 70s to get one of those corners as I saw them dropping too. I don't know, man. I understand the lack of urgency because now we're transitioning from a team that was built from the back to the front. Now we're going to the transition of front to the back. But they got to believe in Kohu. Like, I totally agree with your point earlier. He was getting more comfortable in the second half of the season. Clearly, there are more boundary reps in mind for Kohu.
Yeah.
So, I don't know, man. They're confident, and I trust Weaver. But, geez.
Shout outs to Coney, by the way. He wants us to say this. Isaiah Johnson is his sleeper. He had a pick today. He's very excited about it.
Yeah.
Sarconi sleepers, baby. That's
Sleepers.
Chris has to rebrand his account to Sarconi Sleeper. I swear to God, we're in a group chat with this guy, and he does bring up sleepers. Like, he does bring up guys. He's like, bro, I said this in November, and we're like, no, the fuck you didn't, Chris. Like, shut up. And he brings up the tweet, and he'll find it in the group chat. He'll find it in the group chat, and we're like, dude, you did say it, man. I can't. It's unbelievable.
Funny. Yeah,
because
he does bring it up, and then he'll say this. No, I bring it up. Y'all just don't want to listen. Y'all just overlook me. We're like, dude, you did. It's like, dude, I would remember if you dropped the whole damn highlight tape of a guy.
And he did. That's the funniest part.
And he did.
He'll reply to it, so it brings it back into the chat. And he's like, and we're like, anyways, that was different. I'll talk about right now.
He'll be like, "Oh, you guys gonna ignore that? You gonna ignore that?" Like, yes.
I think BJ Adams is going to be their UDFA gem in the secondary.
He came in on a visit.
He's a stud.
They're very high.
That's buddy from UCF, right?
Yeah, and I think I've heard rumblings we want to go a little bit more man. And you look at his profile and the fit, there's going to be opportunities if they do that.
I think they're really relying on the front seven to generate something more than the last year, and kind of they're like, okay, we're going to take a hit in the secondary, but if we upgrade this front seven enough,
they don't.
You might be able to make it up in the secondary.
Yeah, they're not going to hold their man. Have to hold their man in phase for like 4, 5, 6 seconds because they're going to try and get home in like 2.5, right? I personally, I think they still would have added Joey Bosa if they would have brought in Dre Greenlaw. Do you know how disgusting this front seven would have been if they just would have added Dre Greenlaw and drafted Kenneth Grant? Oh. I would be sitting here telling you we got the best friend in the NFL, and I wouldn't even be blowing smoke up your ass because I think it would have been better than what the Rams had last year.
I think it just sucks that Dre Greenlaw's hurt again already.
And so is Bosa.
So it's like it's one of those.
So we kind of missed it. So congratulations for finally dodging the bullet, Chris. Attaboy.
I was going to say that front seven would have had a lot of asterisks under like if healthy or when healthy.
Hey, let's be serious though. I mean, the front seven has asterisks anyway, so like that's where we are.
Oh, I mean,
yeah. And Bosa would have been in a rotation. You would have been dependent on him as much, but man, Tyrell Dodson. Hopefully, he looks more like the guy he was at the end of the season for the stretch of the season, and he'll be a very good LB2 with Brooks. And Dolphins need to extend Brooks and Sealer.
I think what I'm most excited about is that 3rd and long NASCAR package with Sealer, Chop, Chubb, and Phillips, bro. That is going to be animalistic. Josh ain't gonna be able to run around no more with those 4 dogs chasing him. I'm telling you.
Especially when Kenny's out there too, and you ain't gonna get no break.
Yeah, Kenny's got some wheels on him.
Dude, that's insane, dude.
I'm telling you, man. The upside is Vita Vea with elite athleticism.
And I love Jordan Phillips too.
This guy's gonna be disgusting.
Jordan Phillips is good. Like I'm glad they went that way. The defensive line room was super fucking thin, and you need 4 bona fide guys, and then maybe 2 more rotational guys. Like you need 4 bona fide guys that are going to be going in this game.
Reason I think you agree with us on this. I think they were looking at a defensive tackle there when they traded down, and the Eagles took Ty Robinson, obviously, and West went before us, and they trade down, and you're kind of like, damn, we got to wait 100 picks to draft again. But then they get Jordan Phillips, and I'm like, don't even care. Great value.
Yeah, the upside is good, man. Right, and it's another guy kind of like Chop, where you have to project it a little bit more based off like traits you're seeing and like understanding the scheme he's walking into in the coaching staff. And I mean, we saw what Weaver did with Matabuki, and that's why I had full confidence in what he would do with Chop. And I feel that again with Jordan Phillips. And you're getting him. You know what's crazy? We went from, it feels like overnight, we went from one of the oldest teams to now we just had the youngest draft in the NFL. Give me 2 more of those of the quality of players in the youth, and we're on to something here. You know what I mean? So, man, I'm excited about that front. Even Zeke Biggers.
Yeah.
North Carolina boy, baby. Let's go.
Georgia Tech.
Never miss an opportunity, Bob. I love that about you.
There's not many of them, so you got to take them when you get them.
That's fair.
You know, like I've been saying before the draft, you know, well, I was talking about Kenneth Grant specifically because that's who I wanted. That's who I heard they were really high on. I was saying you can't pigeonhole these guys. Stop looking at this, you know, stat watching their profiles and saying, okay, he's 330 plus, he's a nose. You know, like all you Penn State fans, because I know there's a ton in our fan base. Y'all remember when he ran down your running back? What was he like? He was either 3 or a 4-eye. He wasn't a 0. You know, he was either over top of the guard or shading the shoulder. I don't remember exactly, but it was one of those 2. He wasn't over the center. You know what I mean?
That was
like
Kate Allen too, man.
Yeah, what was that, like 15 yards downfield? He caught him
15. He was fucking like 40 yards.
You see,
he just dodged the cornerback.
No, did you see if you actually watch the God, I call it the God view from the goalpost. If you watch that view, he moves his man out of the way so he can get him too. He just like grabs him and just throws him. And I'm telling you, not enough people watch this film. Go watch him against Indiana. I had never seen. I talk about this all the time. All right, they run a motion where the tight end is coming across the backside from the right to the left. And he literally takes on a double and then uses takes on a double, uses the center, I believe, with his right hand, runs him into the tight end, coming across on the motion, and then rolls the whole pile into the running back to stop him for like a 2 or 3 yard loss. It was like one of the most incredible things I've ever seen.
It's good awareness.
Like strength, bro. This man took 4 people with 2 arms and was just like, let's go.
Good awareness.
By the way, shout out Elwood. Zeke blocked 5 field goals too. Fun fact.
Yeah.
He's big as hell, so that makes sense.
Yeah. That's what worries me about a guy like Jason Marshall. There's no special teams upside, really. Like, if he doesn't, you know, make an impact and show he can be quality depth, you know, at least with Dante Trader, you know, if he's not quite there yet in terms of to really be vying for the rotation as the number, you know, the second unit, well, at least he can offer you special teams upside, kind of like Sierra Neal did, right? So it kind of worries me about Jason Marshall.
We're going to miss him, bro. Sierra Neal's a dog.
Yeah, on special teams, he's good. Started making mistakes though last year, though. Huh?
You know what Nick Hicks said? Nick Hicks said, he was like, bro, Sierra Neal, when that dude comes to train, he's always on go, bro. Like, everything is intense. Everything is 10 out of 10 reps. Like, bro, that dude's different.
And he wasn't bad when he had to fill in when they asked him to fill in the secondary. You know what I mean?
I was impressed.
No.
So, yeah.
He's about as good as a special teams ace can be when he steps on the field with the 11s. I mean, that's just reality.
Yeah.
Can't get much better.
Well, he was a wide receiver his entire life. And he was like, man, when he came on here, he was just like, I use my wide receiver moves on these guys that are like cornerback 6s that are sticking at gunner. And he's like, I just run around them. And he was even saying, he's like, Danny Crossman knows who I am. And he comes up to me after every game and he's like, I know how to put 3 guys on you. I know how to put 2 guys on you. You know, when he was up in Buffalo, obviously.
I think Reason brought up Calais earlier, but shout out to Teron Armstead, still in the building, bro.
Yeah. He's still employed.
Can't let it go. Oh, he is.
It's true. He's right.
My
Actually,
boy's got the bug right now. He's like, I don't know if I'm done yet. I don't know yet.
I just gotta check out the scene.
Yeah, I don't know, bro. He needs those braces Batman had in those final movie for those knees, bro. Like to go against Bane, because dude, that guy needs a whole new knee.
Yeah, he did. If anybody got a need for me, I'm not done yet.
That's great. That's great. I would love him though. Honestly, I would still take him, even like with no knee, man.
I'll sign up for 10 years of throwing Armstead right now.
Just give me him for the playoffs if we get there.
He was really hurt last
baby.
season. He played through so much injury.
And somebody brought up the linebacker core. I'm excited for this linebacker core. Not only am I excited for the core, but I'm excited because now they have a front four that can hold a double team and let these guys read and scrape. Bro, it's going to be different. Jordan Brooks is going to eat, my boy. He's going to eat this year.
And I love Willie Gay. I wanted him out of the draft. I'm so excited they added like KJ Britt. I actually like the depth. I think the depth is better than what it was last year heading in, right? Like,
boys,
I think.
What are we doing with Channing Tindall? What are we
Special
doing?
teams. Special team. He's a good.
What do you got, Eugene Asante? You run a 4.48. You're not.
I will say, Sarconi sleepers. Put him at edge. Let's see what he can do at edge. Let's see what he can do at edge.
But outside of that, you just chalk that one up as an L bird.
No, but hear me out. Alec Ingold at guard?
No. What?
Shout out Keith
right there.
Shout out Keith.
Shout out Keith, baby. No. It was Alec Ingold going to guard. Durham Smythe. It might have been Durham. No, Alec Ingold going to tight end.
A real account.
Alec Ingold going to tight end. Durham Smythe going to guard.
Nobody's actually
I don't
said
believe
this.
anyone that. I don't believe anyone.
Nobody actually said this.
Yes,
this is a lie.
No,
I know who this Keith guy is. Is he still around? I haven't seen him.
Yeah, he's the best, bro. I love that guy.
There's no way that's not a person like masking themselves.
No.
Like,
he's as real as it gets, brother.
Putting the Kane voice changer on and everything.
That's a real dude right there. Oklahoma's finest. It was Alec Ingold at center.
I think it was at center.
That's what it was.
It was at center. Holy shit! It was at center.
Holy God.
Good work.
Anything to avoid Liam.
Good work.
Anything to avoid Liam.
Oh my God, dude. Dude, Keith is out there now with 5 burners, dude, just paying for Twitter Blue on every single one of them, just trying to get that Twitter.
I never see him on the timeline. I didn't block him or anything. I never see him on the timeline anymore.
He uses his other accounts now. He's
got like 5.
He's Waddleville.
Oh,
don't expose him, Bobby.
I see him on the timeline.
Oh, Bobby,
I don't give a fuck.
Give it away, Bobby.
Right?
Dude,
I mean, I don't think it's a surprise. You can tell who's tweeting behind that account. I mean,
I don't pay attention to it, but I've seen the
it's like those forensic scientists that come in when like the serial killer writes the letter, and it's like, dude, that's only one person, man. That is one.
It's like when Cam Newton. It's like when Cam Newton tweets. You know, it's Cam Newton font. It's Keith talking when you see that grammar. You're like, oh, okay, that's Oklahoma slang. Okay,
bro, my boy was falling out during Oklahoma City game last night.
It was a lot of words.
A lot of words being said.
Honestly, I know there's accusations out there. I've never created a burner because I'm just too lazy to create another email.
I don't got time for that shit.
Like, you know, like
accusations.
Only person
I like my peace of mind. Why am I gonna go like I block people because I don't want to hear their bad takes. Why would I go searching to see what their bad takes are? Right. So like,
I got 2 accounts. I got Ghost of Adam Gase and I got Hard Rock Sun.
The Hard Rock Sun was such a
that's tasteful.
It's still alive. It's still alive.
Yeah,
it's still alive. I tweet like every time I go down there, just take a picture of the sideline, sun blasting, and then I just tweet it.
Rip on Bills fans.
Welcome everybody. It gets like 400 likes. It's fucking awesome, dude. It's like one. It's like
you know what I missed? I missed Tuanon.
Yeah. R.I.P. Eric.
That was a ride, man.
Dude, Eric was the coolest fucking. Eric was.
No, but wasn't there multiple people involved? At the beginning.
It wasn't
was
multiple
really
people.
Eric, though.
It was just him, and then
Clump kept taking credit. Clump kept taking credit. Like he wouldn't tell people it wasn't him because he was so clout hungry, right? He just wouldn't tell people it wasn't him.
He knew who it was to it. But yeah, Eric was like the coolest fucking dude.
Big E in the house, baby.
In the house.
Hey, Ghost, how many group chats are you in right now?
Dude, way too many, and it's not even my fault. I just fucking I'll get added to a new one every day.
If you need,
do you have your DMs open?
No,
do you have your DMs open?
I close them to like people who follow me, so you can't DM me, obviously.
I made sure of that.
Only people who follow me could.
Awesome, dude.
Yeah.
Ghost is hardly.
I don't
never
need that. I
funny.
got your phone number, bro.
Oh, you do. You do have my phone.
It's
number.
bigger than Twitter, bro.
It's fine.
Dude.
It's
That
fine.
was incredible, actually.
That was good. I'll give him that one. That was good.
Reason, how you feeling? So let's say they go get Rasul Douglas and Asante Samuel Jr. How you feel about the corners? Yeah.
I'd
Okay.
be happy
that's
with just one. Shit.
fair. There's a reason you're signing people in August, right? There's a reason.
Yeah, I mean, kind of to Ghost's point earlier, the neck issue.
Mhm,
Then you look at his off and on tackling ability and his the physicality that might be required in this. Like I said, I'd feel more comfortable with Samuel as a legit number 2. Rasul Douglas, I mean, what are we doing here? I mean, I actually agree with Greer if he's sticking to a cost. Like, if this guy's coming in here and saying, bro, you're not a 1, you're not a 2, you'd probably be actually best as a rotation at 2, not a all day, every down 2, which you may be asked to. But I also understand where he's coming from. He's probably like, hey, you're so desperate right now. I'm probably the only thing proven you would add to that room other than, maybe Kohu. Right? Like, I'm the only proven commodity, NFL commodity. So, pony up. I get that. It's part of the business. So, but yeah, I've said this. I would target Jalen Watson from the Chiefs. I don't think they'll be able to pay him because I just don't think they'll be able to pay him with the money they got already coming up and already in that secondary. I would be after Jalen Watson. I mean, they got him in the 5th, 6th, or 7th, and he's turned into a pretty solid. He's young still, so I would be down to invest in that.
He had a 4-year, $3.4 million cap hit.
Yeah,
Coney Sleepers wants to know about Newsome. What about
He
Newsome?
always wants to know about fucking Greg Newsome.
I would target Denzel Ward.
Okay.
What about the concussions?
Newsome got benched. I'm either taking a guy who got benched or I'm rolling the dice on a guy staying healthy.
What about
I know if
Bradbury?
he stays healthy is probably better than the other guy.
Oh, Ward's a dog, but he just can't fucking stay on the field.
It's the same thing with Jair Alexander. If I could tell you, hey, I'll give you trade me straight up right now, Ramsey for Jair Alexander, but you only get Jair for 10 games, would you do it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
You can't find Jair Alexander out there right now. Yes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And also,
yeah,
we don't
right.
have anybody anywhere near that. So, yeah, sign me up for 10 Jair Alexander games.
Same
I'll
thing.
take 8, brother. I'll take 8.
Yeah. So I'm taking that kind of stand with Denzel. If I can get 8 to 10, and in that time I've got the trade deadline, and maybe someone develops, there you go. I don't know. Kind of Terron Armstead, right?
Russell's got to be coming in high. Like, he should be signed already, but he's got to be coming in high with his agent.
Yeah.
I thought he had a good. I thought he had a
He had a good
year.
season. He had 2 good years.
Yeah. What about
What is
Bradbury?
he, 31 or 32?
He's 30. He might even be 29.
And
I don't
Byron
think-
Murphy
I
is
don't think
another
he's
one
30 yet.
somebody just brought up.
Look up Russell. How old is Russell Douglas?
I thought he was over 30.
No, I think he's 29.
But I got
news
news for you guys.
Okay,
We're
if he's 29,
100
then I understand him even more. Sorry, go
Yeah.
ahead, Joe.
He's
No, it's all
30.
good. I was
he's
going to say
30,
we're
okay.
we're 100% acquiring a vet. I mean,
He'll be-
there's
Yeah.
He'll be one in the
it'd
Sure,
be
for
pure
sure.
negligence if we didn't.
Rasul Douglas is 30 years old.
Yeah, they're going
Warrior.
to
He's 31
Warrior.
in the season.
He's
Why
probably
we
going to
got
get.
home, had to give it
he's
to
Dude,
you.
looking-
I think the reason why they this is me theorizing. This is just a pure theory. Maybe they didn't want to mess with that comp pick formula for that 4th with Holland,
True.
and they got that 3rd because they're like, okay, let's see if we can get someone for a 3rd or 4th after June 1st. And then we're so we don't mess with that comp pick formula. So if we trade the 3rd we just got, at least we got the 4th, or we can trade a 4th knowing we're going to replace it with a 4th for Holland.
Do you think they dig into 2027 draft with Ramsey?
What do you mean?
Do you
Like,
think they
try to
dig
get
into
rid
a 2027 pick with Ramsey?
Pick?
Yeah.
Oh, like
'Cause
2 years
it's-
down the line?
What if somebody? Okay, what if I give you this? We'll give you a 5th or 6th. Let's go with 6th for now. In 2026, or we give you a 3rd or 4th in 2027.
I'd take that. Yeah,
I'd take the
I'd take the 27. Yeah. I'd take that. I see because my stance has been
Because it could go also. Sorry, it could go
No, go
like,
ahead.
hey, you got to sit. We'll give you a 7th this year, and we'll give you a 3rd in 2027. Like that could. It very well could be the way the trade goes.
Yeah, my whole stance has been like, okay, I'll pay some of his contract the higher of a draft pick you give me. Because you know how people have a problem right now? A lot of teams don't want to acquire that money. Okay, well, give me a higher draft pick. I'm not trading him for a 5th or 6th. You want to give me a 3rd? I've said this. You want to give me a 3rd? I'll pack his bags. You want to give me a 2nd? I'll drive him to a private jet and make sure he's there in a couple hours. Right?
It's like
you want to give me a
Wilson
1st? I'll escort him myself with a team of bodyguards to make sure he arrives safely. You know what I mean? Like, that's where I'm at, because you know how teams kind of seems like they want to take on that money. All right, well then give me a 4th or a 3rd minimum.
Yeah. It's like Russell Wilson when he went to the Steelers. It would pay him $1 million, and then Denver ate the rest of it.
Exactly. Yeah. Like that's my stance on it. So listen, we just talked about Chris Greer dodging some health bullets with Greenlaw and stuff. I mean, kudos to him for standing his ground on this too, because I agree with him. But I think it happens, boys. I think it happens before June 10th. Mandatory minicamp, they can start fining him if he doesn't show up. So I think it happens before. Well, obviously, he tweeted out 5.
I mean, listen, he teased it with the 5 today.
Yeah,
so, I mean, it's they already have something in motion.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's not a good look to fine him, anyways. You just got to get.
But the Dolphins, they'll wait till day 1 at 4:00 or middle of the night. They never do it like it's always some random ass shit.
At the end of
the day, as long as I can tweet the dog was right. I fucking love tweeting the dog was right. It pisses off so many people.
Rick's the man.
Ricky's so cool.
I asked Ricky. I said, Ricky, man, you want to come on the pod? He's like, man, I would love to. He goes, but I can't. He goes, I can't. I have to stay behind. Like, people really hate me. Like, it's a real thing.
Yeah,
sure.
Yeah. Think of all this. Dude, he beats so many big scoops with like
they won't credit him. They won't credit him.
They refuse. No. They will not.
No. And I bet you they're trying real hard to figure out exactly who he is and stuff like that.
That is crazy, dude. It would be insane to find out. Like, his identity is actually like a confidential thing, because he knows it. Dude, he fucking knows, man. He knows it.
It could be Schefter's burner. We don't know.
Dude, he has to be plugged in for every team, though, because he doesn't just get for one team. He gets every team. So, like, there's one person in every team that's just leaking to one person. Like,
and he's plugged in with agencies. He's plugged in with agencies too, right?
And basketball too.
Yeah, no, dude, he's legit, right? Like, he's hilarious too. The whole New York stuff. You remember his whole gimmick where he was acting like he wasn't a New York Giants fan and stuff like that? He's actually funny how he trolls the hell out of people. Like, but that's the thing. We all know how locked in he is, but still, what does he have? Like a 95 hit rate? But what do people do? They'll whisper his success, but from a mountaintop, they'll yell whenever when something goes. When a fluid situation goes the other way and he ends up looking wrong, that's all they'll talk about. But he's right like 95 to 98% of the time.
And he always falls on it when he's wrong.
Yeah,
he admits it. He'll be like,
he's legit.
I was wrong.
He'll be like, sorry, Stiller Nation, I let you down. And then he'll delete his account and start a new one.
It shows how fluid all this stuff is, right? Like, anything can change. Information, you can get information from your most reliable source you've ever had, and 24 hours can change everything. I'll give you an example. With the Ramsey stuff, I knew the new deal was coming last year, and I even hit a media reporter up and said, yo, you're at camp. Look out for it. No, it's not happening. No, it's not happening. And look at Surtain. A couple hours later, the money got announced, and it changed the whole thing. And the money had to get reworked. And then it actually got announced 2 days later when it was going to be announced that morning. Everything's so fluid,
Well, that Ayuk trade, if you were in the building, dude, if you were the GM, it was done. It was done. And then it just like dematerialized.
Yeah, unless if you're a Mo, it was Mo on X, it was done about 83,000 times, right?
Well,
God, I love our fan base, bro.
Oh my God, there's some wild dudes out here, man.
Are other fan bases like us, or are we just off the fucking deep end?
Yeah, they are. They
have to be, right? Like, we can't be
all
the
different
only
sports.
ones.
Yeah. You ever met a Leafs fan?
Yeah, there's a
Leafs fan. They haven't won anything since '67, and they're more arrogant than Patriots fans.
There's a Leafs fan on Dolphins Twitter that's a Dolphins fan too. I don't know if you ever see the Leafs guy. He's got the maple.
My Panthers had to put them out of their misery this year again.
Yeah.
I don't like
he's insane.
Bills and Leafs are the two franchises I hate the most in sports.
Those people are really rubbed wrong by your jersey. They're all messed up. Maybe you should just go
Dude,
shirtless.
the green throws them off. The green throws them off.
You're fucking.
Does it
out,
say
bud.
Powers on the back? Show them if it says Powers on the back.
Oh,
there you go.
Hey, go
Powers
actually
55.
just do the podcast looking the other way, bro.
That's a Stitch one, also. That's nice.
I'm in my underwear, so I can't stand up fully. I'm doing the Zoom work from home thing.
I love
Look,
it.
we're having a great conversation with Reason from Phinside The NFL. If you're new here, if you're coming over, you're following Reason over here, hit that subscribe button. Help you boys out. You probably see a lot more of us doing things in the future with Reason and whatnot. So glad y'all came over here to enjoy the night with us. Hit that subscribe button. Show you boys some love. We got a lot more to get into here, but appreciate y'all for coming over and showing some love.
Support small businesses. What happened to that? Come on, guys.
Yeah, that was on a roll for a little bit there. We should bring it back.
Yes,
COVID,
I'm bringing it back, baby. Support small businesses, but the little guys just want to eat a little bit. We're a little hungry. That's all.
My boy Reason got that Tua mug, boy.
Yeah, I got a Waddle and a Tyreek one too.
I remember when you got those, man. That's cool.
Yo, so me and Bobby were talking earlier, and we're like, damn, man, it's almost like Reason's coming over for his first sleepover with the boys. Right? Like, back in the day, your parents finally let you go to the boys for the sleepover. Like, so I got to ask everybody, we could do a little snake draft on this. What was the go-to snack you were bringing to the sleepover, dog?
Reason gonna drop something we ain't never heard of.
Yeah, he's gonna drop some Canadian shit for sure.
No, so
listen, if you put maple syrup on,
no, I'm actually not a maple syrup fan. Funny enough.
Breaking news, only heard live on the
Yeah, I'm actually
not a maple syrup guy.
Yeah, my kids love that. I'm not a huge fan. I'm much more American than I am Canadian, honestly. There's these wings out here. They're called Red Roman. And like the flavor wings, and they are like the best medium sauce I've ever tasted in my life, with Parmesan, like shredded Parmesan, and then like an amazing Caesar dressing drizzled all over it.
What?
I'm looking on.
Yeah,
that's
oh my god,
it's a recipe. It's a recipe. Red Roman.
No, it's from a wing place like right
okay.
by me, and like man, like I've had wings are like. I haven't gone to 911 Tavern or Bar Bill, and I might go this year. But man, these are the best wings in the GTA. I can say that.
Yo, there he is.
There he is.
Go, there he is.
The
coming out party. No, it's I feel like this is a perfect point. Another shout out. Support local business. Billy's Tavern, Davie, Florida, baby.
Oh,
I can't wait. Home opener.
What's it called?
Billy's Tavern. It's in Davie. Well,
it is the closest closest to
Plantation?
Bar Bill and that you can get in Florida. Incredible.
Have you been in what is it 9011? Have you or 1190? Have you been to that spot?
I think Buffalo? It's McDermott's favorite place.
Have you been there or no?
No, I haven't been there. I've been to Bar Bill. I've been to the Anchor. I've been to all those. Yeah. I haven't been to.
How's the beef on Weck at Bar Bill?
That's fucking amazing. Dude.
Sorry, baby, wanted a cameo.
Yeah.
But apparently,
wanted a cameo. She's over there, silly.
When I go again this year, I got to go to 9/11. But I've had Wing Nuts. I've had Bar Bill. I've had Anchor.
Yeah.
And Wing Nuts and Bar Bill are fantastic.
Yeah.
Has anybody had room 40?
Nope.
What's room 40?
Oh, room for these nuts in your mouth, boy.
Hey, let's get it.
I knew something had
Yo, Bobby tried to set that up to John Mills. It just didn't work out.
I didn't have the heart either, to be honest about it. I don't even know if I could have hit it with the punchline.
Ain't no way you would have done that.
So no reason. I appreciate wings. I'm a wing aficionado, but what I'm talking about is like the snacks when we were jits. Like for me, it was like you had to bring the Rumble Pack over.
Rumble Pack?
Like for an N64?
The N64 Rumble Pack, bro.
Oh, you were talking about snacks. Now you're talking
you
about
said snacks.
Just bring into the sleepover. Gotta bring the Rumble Pack to the sleepover.
We'll change it.
Okay.
What was it?
It's talking about Rumble Packs.
I ain't never heard of that.
Like for N64.
Yeah, bro. It was
oh.
Bobby, you didn't have an N64?
Yeah, for sure. I didn't know what he's talking about.
I didn't have. I don't know if I had a Rumble Pack for it though, because I used to just play like No Mercy and all that, and like
007.
WCW, NWO Revenge, and
Dude, 007. Holy hell!
Yeah. We used to skip out on high school on lunch.
They made it for Xbox. They remade it. It's on Xbox right now.
Yeah, that's amazing. Yeah. So are we asking like what I'd bring to
Yeah,
the party
What are
still?
you bringing?
Are we talking about like a video? Like I don't understand.
Anything.
No,
What was-
I just
Did you
wanted-
have?
I
Did
just
you
wanted
ever?
to
Okay,
rubble
hold on.
back
Were
real
you
quick
ever
so
invited
you
to a
know she
sleepover as a kid?
100 million times, yeah.
Are you sure? Are you
Yes.
positive? All right.
Yeah.
All right, listen.
Reason
I'll
to
start-
pick-
I'll
You
start
guys
Unraveling-
got snacks, so I
I
gave
didn't know
wings,
we're
and now
unraveling
it's
some
something else.
trauma here. We're like, oh,
Okay,
fuck,
no,
I was
no,
never
no,
invited to a
no,
sleepover.
no. Man.
So Tony's bringing yoo-hoos.
It's like,
Yeah.
I'm friggin' you.
Oh
Don't
wow!
get it 5
So it's
times.
got to be
We have
like
to say
you
it.
want like a snack from like when I was a kid or something. Like,
Yeah,
from
yes,
when I was a
yes.
kid,
Pork
yeah.
rinds, which is they make some fire pork rinds.
I mean,
now.
we could do the sleepover now as adults. It might be awkward, you know.
Yeah,
But-
yeah. It's gonna. It's
Well, I'm
we're
bringing
with
tequila, so it's
whiskey
gonna
and
be
shit.
weird.
Yeah. All right. So, 18 to early 20s, pack of zigzags.
We're talking like teenagers, dude.
He's breaking it down. and
You're like
he's breaking
12.
it
Maybe like 11 years
Guys
old.
breaking down the film, and
I'll
there's
go
not
first.
even film
I'll
to
go
break
first.
down.
I'll go
Next
first.
lifetime
I'll go
segment
first. I'll go
question,
first.
please.
I'm trying to think because I'm thinking about like Hostess
Go,
cupcakes
set
or
the
like
standard.
Twinkies
Go.
or something like
Yeah,
that.
that's
Okay,
what he was
I'm
asking.
Yeah, I know,
like
I know. I'm
Twinkies.
thinking. I
Every
don't
time
know
we'd
yet.
have a sleepover, right?
Yeah.
I would go to this. It was like what the fuck was Willy Wonka's grandfather's name?
Shit.
The fuck
Grandpa?
was his name?
don't know.
Grandpa.
I know.
Whatever. They had a candy store in town. I would go there and he would get the ultra sour warheads. And I'd bring over the bag.
Banger.
Classic.
And we'd have to come
Warheads
over
were
and we'd
amazing.
whoever like broke first, you'd have to do something fucking stupid. But that's what we would do. Like I would look for like the worst warhead you can find. And dude, they would come out with like special black warheads.
Dude, the
that you
gray
would get.
ones. Yeah.
The gray ones, the ones that come in the black package and whatnot. Have to go to the store.
Dude, the
buy
gray
those,
ones hit
every-
hard.
every
It's
single
in your
sleepover.
freaking mouth. They like
And I'm
they
like-
would like burn through your lip.
Yeah, you would get sharp and you would have like it'd be like you just ate hot pizza where it burns the roof of your mouth. And dude, that's what we would have to have those and have competitions. We'd have brackets and shit.
So reason my wife's family's from Canada and she loves Smarties.
Yeah, Smarties are like to me they're a lower tier M&M. I like M&Ms.
Grandpa Joe, that lazy fuck.
I just texted her. I
Hey,
said,
okay, if we're doing this and we're all boys and you guys don't have access to it,
Here
all
we
right,
go.
I'll bring ketchup chips.
Ketchup
All right,
chips.
bet.
Hey, all
There you
right.
go.
All right,
Cool.
because you can only get them in
Cool.
Canada. There you go.
Are they as good as they sound?
My daughter, absolutely, my 7-year-old daughter loves them. Like, licks the flavor off the chip and then eats the chip. I'm not about that life. You know what I mean? Like, I like ketchup on burgers and hot dogs. You know, so
All right,
Acquired
man.
taste.
You were at the sleepover. It's fine.
Do you eat
There you
ketchup with eggs? Like,
You were at the sleepover, bro. It's okay, man. Like you were there. You were there.
Confirmed per sources.
sources. Oh my god.
Bobby, what you bringing, bro?
Smarties.
Sleepover. Dude, honestly, Joe kind of hit it because like it's true. You'd bring like your console and your memory card for sure.
yeah.
Like
Memory
that
card.
dude, your
That's-
memory
yeah.
card.
The memory card was important.
Dude, the memory card is like, look, you got Madden, but do you got this franchise I've been working
Right.
on?
bro, if you
Yes.
forgot
You know
the
what I
memory
mean?
card, you send your parents back to go get that shit. Like
Yeah.
you got to go get that.
Bro,
Dude,
somebody just said Surge Soda, and that brought me so bad.
Wow. That is,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh
That's-
my
Did you guys
God.
ever have Jolt? Was Jolt ever out there?
Nope.
Jolt's a little old, older than
Do you remember
Surge, right?
Jolt? Do you remember Jolt Cola?
I know because they make Jolt chewables
Oh.
now that you can buy at like the gas station at the front, whatever.
Yeah.
you can like grab one.
Somebody
But
So
said
it was
Four
like a-
Locos.
It was like a Coke, but when you
hey,
did that,
hey.
dude, wow.
yeah,
I
like the
remember
original Four Loco,
too.
brother. Like
yeah.
Dude,
It was out
low-hanging
for-
fruit, by the way. Low-hanging
Maybe.
fruit, cosmic brownies.
Dude, I'm telling
Yeah.
you, Jolt,
Oh,
you
yeah.
take the Jolt, you get the like little bottle, like the 591 milliliter bottle, and you turn it, and it would show the bottle. It was equivalent to 4.5 cups of coffee. That's how much caffeine was in it.
Jesus.
It was crazy. Yeah. So like,
while we're on the topic,
should
and I've been
drink
meaning to talk about this, I want to start a movement, boys. Like, dude, the last 2 weekends I took my kids to the movies,
yeah,
and dude, there's still magic in that place, dude.
yeah,
Oh, dude, I
Minecraft
love
was
going to
crazy.
Dude, we gotta get back in the theaters, bro. There's
Yeah.
still magic there. You get your popcorn, let your kids pick out whatever they want, a little bunch and crunch, dump it in the
Ooh.
popcorn.
Yeah.
Bobby,
Dude.
I know that you're out in the bayou, but have your movie theaters gotten bars and shit in them? Because they all have
Yes.
bars here.
We
and
have a
it's
DAC,
the
a
best
DAC
thing
stop.
ever.
Look, reason another funny thing. These boys think because I live in Louisiana, I'm in the middle of nowhere, but
Yeah.
Louisiana is very nice. And very developed. So
Bro, Bobby, hey, Bobby's capping so hard right now. He just FaceTimed me before the show, and there's like 3 cops in front of his house. This guy's capping so hard right now.
No, my real question is, how many friends you have out there that practice voodoo or voodoo? Sorry,
I don't have any. That's more of a New Orleans thing. Like, so one thing about Louisiana, like based off what parish you're in, it really does change a lot. Like right where I'm at, it's like normal life. There's colleges. I live next door to where Robert Hunt went to college, played football. Cool. There's nice buildings, great work, just everything. But you go 50 minutes north, and we're gonna go hunt the gators. We're gonna shoot them, shoot them. It's like And then New Orleans is honestly its own state. Quite honestly, like people that like where I'm from don't even talk about fucking New Orleans. Like you don't want to be in New Orleans, bro. That's the last place you want to take your wife to New Orleans, dude.
Brother, and to your movie point, kids in Blockbuster. The fact our kids will never get to experience Blockbuster.
Oh, dude, a good rental to the sleepover?
That's a good sleepover right there. It's the Blockbuster.
Hey, he's sleepover certified now.
There you go. There you go.
Get a game. You go get a game in a movie, and then you get all the snacks before you check out, bro. Dude, that was like a 2-hour experience, 3-hour experience, and then you chill, right?
You want to hear? My biggest heartbreak at Blockbuster? Swear to God, is I go in to rent NFL 2K6. And if you're like in the cut, if you know what I'm talking about, Madden bought out the franchise, they destroyed it. Yeah, it's fucking terrible. And NFL 2K would probably be the best football simulation game on the market right now. And I remember this. I remember walking up to the front desk. I'm like, hey, do you have NFL 2K6? He's like, no. He's like, we have 2K5 though. And like, I didn't know what happened. Like, I didn't fucking know that it didn't come out again. And then I slowly looked it up and I'm like, holy fuck, like there's never going to be a 2K game again. And I was devastated because that was the game, dude. Yeah. That game still plays better than Madden today.
Dude, remember you could play first person?
And
you could build your crib? And you could build your
trash. But it was awesome, dude. It was that mode was trash, but it was fucking awesome.
That was the one with Warren Sapp on the cover, right?
Yeah.
The one with T.O. was the best one ever.
Yeah. 2K5 was T.O.
Yeah, that was
with the green Eagles jersey.
That was Eagles T.O. Yeah,
dude.
Like
you had Warren Sapp, you had T.O., and then you had Dante Culpepper on the 2K2, I think it was.
Dude, that franchise was so good. I remember being disappointed when remember when they made All Pro? And they're using the Legends?
For 360.
Yeah. I was so disappointed because I was like, you know what they would have done with a real license? I'm like, this would have been disgusting.
Even if they put that on next gen and just have these kids mod the fuck out of it, like that would be the best football game on the market. Hands down.
And yo, Dream, I know someone mentioned there, man, when you used to sleepovers, my one buddy was the only one of us that had a Dreamcast.
Bro, that shit was so fire.
But he was so ahead of its time, bro. Oh yeah, bro. Dude, Crazy Taxi was amazing.
Crazy Taxi was goaded.
Dude, Crazy Taxi.
Playing Crazy
Taxi. Tricky.
Yeah.
SSS Tricky, the best. Dude, I have it.
I had it modded with every single game ever made for Dreamcast. It was the best.
Dude, I even had the Royal Rumble game because I remember how advanced that Royal Rumble was. As you can tell, I played a lot of wrestling games growing up. And everyone was like, that thing. Remember the screen on the controller?
Rub one out real quick.
You remember the screen on the controller? That shit was out of its time.
Dude, it really was.
Bro.
Dude.
I
feel like, is Ghost an Xbox guy?
He is.
He's about to pop up with something off his back shelf.
Don't you feel that's the way Microsoft's going to end up? They're going to end up turning into a...
Let's go.
Oh, wow.
Bang.
I turned it up. EA big.
Dude, that's
never freaking bro. I still pop this in.
Dude, that's incredible.
Come on.
You know what I want? Remember Blitz the League? I want an updated
version of that. Man.
That game was amazing, bro.
Dude, that was insanity. The little storylines they had written into that league.
Bro. Dude, you can juice up and stuff like that if you got hurt.
You want to talk about sleepovers, man.
Yo, dude. Bro,
that's crazy.
Is that the one with the Akon song on it?
Yes.
Okay.
That's the whole soundtrack.
Dude, for Xbox, the original Xbox,
I'm in awe right now.
I used to pack my apartment.
Dude,
I used to have like 20 of my boys come over and they'd all bring their girls. Right now, bro, we'd smoke out, we'd drink out, and we'd just play Fight Night for hours, bro. That is the best boxing game that ever existed.
Yeah. You got the Madden 07.
Oh, yeah. With that was the dude. Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, Ghost. That was very impressive that you're just
you still got them, eh?
Dude, I still
Show
play
me some
him, bro.
college football.
Hey,
I mean, come on.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah,
Probably
yeah.
the best game you will ever
Dude.
play in your life, dude. The whole series, they don't make lore like that anymore. They don't
the
make
new
it like that anymore.
the new Metal Gear. They remastered the new Metal Gear's coming out. They rebuilt the whole game.
Dude,
I
that's
did-
gonna be incredible. I hope it don't
Yeah.
disappoint.
It's
I
Snake Eater. It's the
loved it.
Snake Eater one, the Vietnam one. That game was incredible.
It's the original. That's the original one.
Yeah. And they remade it from the ground up. It's gonna be awesome.
Dude,
I can't wait.
Right. And another game that I played hours, Crash Bandicoot.
Yeah.
The one,
Oh,
and the one that's
Hours, bro.
the one that's in the PS2 right now
Yeah,
is NCAA
dude.
Football 08 right now.
Oh
So
my
I would
God.
show it, but dude, I
Hey.
still had. I got the
Bro.
connectors for my
how we feel
HDMI.
about Duke Nukem?
Oh, legendary.
That
But
was
I
awesome.
played that.
Two
on
That was
PC.
awesome.
2D? 2D?
Bro,
Come on.
yeah, but bro, you remember you go in the? I remember being amazed when you go in the strip club and stuff, and you'd be like, "What the heck, bro?" Because I was like 12 or 11, right? And you'd be like, "Wow, my dad plays this on his computer. This is wild."
Cat scratch fever.
You know? Yeah, dude. Remember going into the washroom and you could take a leak and stuff like that? That game was amazing.
Also, if we're talking
Yeah.
about video games, I would be remiss to not bring up the best video game of all time, Kingdom Hearts. Let's be fair.
Never heard of it.
No
Never
way.
heard of that game in my life.
That's the Disney. That's
I
the
feel
Disney
so
franchise.
bad. I wish
one,
I
right?
did.
I
feel
wanna
for you
know it.
right now, Eric.
I want to know it, man.
The
It's all
chat
the
knows.
Disney guys.
The
Yeah,
chat-
it's all the
yeah,
Disney
the
guys,
chat.
right?
Yeah, the chat knows Kingdom Hearts. It's the best.
Wow,
Wow.
greatest game of all time.
Wow.
That's tough.
What was
Metal
the
Gear-
What was the premise?
It's like a RPG, but like with Disney characters. So you go to like their land, like their world. Like you go to Aladdin, and then you have to like beat Aladdin world and like whatever. It's gas.
Dude.
Reason might know this one. I don't know if you guys. Do you guys have Sega?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Genesis.
you don't have, but we did.
Yeah. Do you fucking
Yeah.
remember? Do you fucking remember Monster Hockey?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, the sticks had the metal sticks and
And you,
yeah.
you
I
would
remember
fall
all that.
on the ice and you get eaten by the monster on the ice
Yeah,
and
yeah.
shit. Dude, this fucking game was awesome.
Do you guys remember NHL Open Ice 3-on-3?
Yes, and then
It was in
Obviously
the
not.
arcade, and then they brought it over. Buddy, Doc Emmerich, it was amazing.
And the best
Man,
arcade
greatest
game by
game of
far,
all time.
this is not up for discussion, was NBA Jam. I don't care what you say.
Yeah.
I don't,
Oh,
Yeah.
hell yeah. Dude,
debatable.
and when you did
Dude.
season mode and you beat a
He's
team,
on
you pick a player
fire.
from the team.
Bro, remember when they
Insane.
ported over to Sega Genesis? And like, I remember how wild it was.
I'm not gonna lie,
Greatest
I
game
would
ever.
take every opportunity to try to like
Tomb Raider.
look at Laura Cross tits. Like I would put it like I would like crawl and like get really close to the TV and shit.
Fair.
They'd be like these little pointed because they
It's very
use
fair.
it's very fair, dude. Come on.
Bobby's
Oh my-
laughing because he never played. He don't know.
Oh my god.
Yeah, this is crazy, Jen. This fucking
Oh my God.
insane.
He's heating up. Yeah, dude, he's heating up. And you just
Yeah,
like
that was
fucking throw from
amazing.
half court.
I
Balls
used to
on
think,
fire?
I used to
Yeah,
think they
yeah.
were saying cheese on fire.
Dude, cheese on fire.
See, man,
This
I think you
was-
got to categorize greatest game ever because, dude, online, the first Gears of War and the first Call of Duty Modern Warfare,
Halo,
like,
Halo,
changed-
obviously.
Halo. I was
And
addicted
Halo.
to Halo.
Oh,
Yeah,
Halo, of
like the
course.
first 3 Halos, dude. Remember that music? You just leave it on the menu.
Twisted Metal.
Oh, dude,
Oh, buddy.
do you guys
What a
remember
pool, buddy.
the best one was Twisted Metal Black?
Metal
You know what the
gas.
you know what the
Oh my
crazy
God,
Easter
What a pool.
the crazy Easter egg
That
about
is
Twisted
cool.
Metal Black? You could take that CD and put it in your CD player.
As a-
and it would play
yeah.
the background.
The music.
It would play
yeah.
the no. It would play the backgrounds
Oh, wow.
of every character. They'd
That's
have
amazing.
a narrative for like a full minute. They're
Oh,
like, hey,
wait a
we're the
Wait
Joneses.
a minute.
Tekken. Yeah.
Dude, Tekken,
Wow, that's another.
finish
throwback.
him.
Yeah,
What was that?
See, I was
Mortal
never
Kombat.
into those kind of fighting games. I was never like a button masher. Like I couldn't stand.
I
those
wasn't a
kind of
big
games.
fighting
It's like
game
just hit
guy.
the fucking buttons as quick as you can.
yeah. I wasn't a big fighting game. Metal Gear Solid. Dude, that
No,
was
do
my
you remember
shit.
on N64 when Killer Instinct dropped?
Never,
Did you
I
guys
didn't
play
it.
Killer Instinct?
Nope.
I did
That
play a
game
lot
was
of WWE
Yeah.
on N64. Obviously, Super Mario World 3D. It was
Yeah,
like
yeah.
Oh
the
shit, my bad.
But I said to you, you doofus.
WWE on
Still
N64 was the first wrestling game that they put blood in.
Oh,
So
that's
like
cool.
that was like the biggest thing where you'd hit someone with the stairs and they'd start bleeding and they'd do the whole cut scene where he started bleeding. I'm like, this is fucking awesome. My mom's like, what the fuck are you playing?
Yeah, I
Dude, the
love-
worst was my dad was
I love
super into
those games.
video games, right? So every time we got a first person game, like I would have to watch and just help him. He wouldn't
That's
let me
a tough-
play. And the one that I remember like to the death of me was Max Payne, bro.
I love
Oh,
that
great.
game. That game was phenomenal.
Bro, that
The
level,
slow-mo?
the level where you'd have to walk on the blood trails while he was dreaming, and then you'd fall off, and they'd have that girl scream.
And he'd play it with all the lights off, and I was a little bitch, and I'd be like,
that was an insane level. That was an insane.
I don't know how Rockstar didn't remake that game from the ground up and re-release it on the next gen. Like
that
could
be such an open
game.
world, easy.
You know what I used to rock my dad at when I on my PlayStation was? Do you remember NFL Game Day with your own Bettis on the front of them?
Yes.
I used to rock him on that. Like he would get so pissed off and throw the controller and shit. And I'd let him be the Dolphins. I'd let him run Marino, and I'd just rock him. So,
bro, reason. So just to get a little bit back on topic here, like speaking of growing up, how the hell did you grow up a Dolphins fan, bro? How'd you get into this fan base? I mean, you know your Dolphins football, bro. It's impressive. Like, just tell us your story on that.
So I was born in 85. Marino was drafted in 84. My dad, you know, we got Italian in my family on his side. The Dolphins have a big fan base out where I live because we have a strong, you know, Italian community out here, and a lot of them were Marino people. And my dad was that. It's the same thing, like, you know, Mario Lemieux was drafted in 83. My brother, Mario Lemieux fan, so I picked up the Penguins and the Dolphins from I was born into those families, basically.
That's pretty cool, man.
So, and
I used to see Mario play a lot for. I grew up in Scranton, so he played for the Wilkes-Barre Penguins.
Yeah. And then I used to go to Ralph Wilson all the time, back when it was called Ralph Wilson, and you know, watch the Dolphins and like the Fiedler era. And all that kind of, like, I remember watching Jay Fiedler and Rob Johnson. I hated Rob Johnson, you know, the Ricky era and stuff like that. And then Marino's last few years, I went down. I used to go with my mother and my stepdad down there too. So, yeah, just born into it basically from my dad. Like one of the first pictures of me is my dad holding me, and he's in a Marino jersey.
That's so sick. Yeah, my dad's like the biggest fangirl of Marino. Like, so I'm third generation in the glass business, and my grandfather basically started glass down here. It's like crazy. Yeah. And they did Marino's house, and my uncle at the time.
You just gonna slide that in there?
Low key fucking flex, just like just gonna like slide that in,
bro. Yeah, my uncle.
Anyways,
was
back
like
in
the first
98.
person my uncle was the first person to like invent, like not invent, but basically invent the frameless shower door. It's nuts.
Wow, that's big. Wow.
You know, it's you know how family goes though. None of them could get along. They all had separate businesses. As soon as my grandfather passed away, it's family's hard. But they did it. They did some work for Marino, and my dad couldn't even work. He was a little fangirl the whole time, and my uncle, who was older than him, was like the lead. And he's like, "Bro, stop looking at him." The dude was just staring at him the whole time, bro.
I mean,
and to this day, my dad's still that guy. If he sees somebody out, like I'll never approach a player if he's out in public. I think it's like the weirdest shit. Which listen. It's just my vibe. My dad, bro, that's Zach Thomas. I'm walking right up to him. Hey, Zach, huge fan, brother. My dad don't give a shit.
I'm doing that. Zach Thomas, my favorite.
Absolutely, I'm doing that.
Zach
fucking Deli
I think in my mind that he would fucking love that. He'd be like, "Fuck yeah, brother."
In Ghost's mind, he'll be like, "Ghost of Adam Gase, the dive bar."
No, actually, in my mind, he comes up to me and he's like, "Oh my god!" Yeah, he's like, "Ghost of Adam Gase, is that you?" I'm like, "Hey man, I don't do pictures for free, but for you, you get one for free. I used to watch it growing up. I'll make an exception."
Do you guys remember when I was at dinner and I kept texting you that McDaniel was like 2 tables down from me, and everybody was like, "Dude, you got to go say something," and I'm like, "I will not. I will not."
Go pitch him the dive bar right now.
Hey, Bobby would have ran to the car, got his recruiting hat on, sat down, and start pitching immediately.
Bro, I would have went to the back, put a freaking waiter thing on, delivered him his steak, cut it up for him, did the salt, and then gave him a hat.
Yo.
Anyway,
I think it all depends on the situation. Like if you ran him into the F1, cool. But if he's like in the middle of his fettuccine, you know what I mean? I don't think
with his kids and shit. Like, I'm not doing that, dude.
It is tough. It is tough.
Right thing.
So
you just wait till he goes to the washroom and then you ambush him at the pisser,
why
bro.
is this guy staring at me? When I get up, he gets up.
Y'all standing beside each other in the urinal. You look over. Not bad for a short man. Anyways, have you heard of the dive bar?
Yeah.
Trap his ass in the back.
Can I just get you for 2 minutes, coach?
30 seconds, all I need.
Hey, so Reason grew up a Dolphin fan. Now, how did you get into the YouTube world?
Back in what 2019. So 2019. Okay, so was it 2018 or 2019? No, 2018 was Tannehill's last year here, right?
Yep.
So I remember hopping on
2019.
YouTube. Was it 2019?
2019 was our tank year. So
tank year. So it's 2018, right?
Yeah.
Was his last year?
Yep.
So I remember 2018. I hopped on YouTube, and I've told this story before. So I remember I found a few Dolphins. It was the first time like I ever searched Miami Dolphins on YouTube, and I found a TD Fins talk, and he predicted that we were going to go 17-0 because he was a huge Tannehill mark back then.
Somebody on this podcast right now.
Yeah. He predicted we go 17-0. So I'm like, yo, let me subscribe to this because I got to hear what this. I got to hear how this works out. You know what I mean? And then the season went on and whatever. And then October 2019, I guess he started opening up like for people to come up there. And so like me, Mr. Ballgame, EM Dolphin fan, and a few others went up there for the first time. And then basically, we got a good reaction from the chat, and TD pulled us backstage and was like, hey, I want to do a show every Tuesday night with you guys. And so we started the Tuesday night panel. It was the first YouTube channel that had like over 500 people watching it live. And we started that. We ran that to like May 2020. And in March 2020, I just started Phinside the NFL in the middle of COVID with EM Dolphin fan. It started as a 2-man show.
That's dope.
Yeah.
Now my boy Reason be going live every night, boy.
Yeah, 5 days a week during the off season.
So not to dig into anything that you don't want to talk about, but like, what did you do before? Obviously, YouTube is your profession now. Like, what did you do before? YouTube?
Yeah. So I actually had like a really super good job. I was quality control for a major, like one of the biggest brick manufacturers in the world. And then I got scooped up by one of the biggest chemical manufacturers in the world in North America to be basically one of the lead quality control checkers for them. And basically what happened was some guy didn't show up to work. Right. So, bro, I went from a grunt to palm olive hands, bro. You pay me 6 figures and I don't get my hands dirty is basically what I had worked my way up to, because I'd been in the industry since a summer student at 15 with that brick company, worked my way up. And, I eventually left college because they're offering me like over $30 an hour. And I'm like, you know what I mean? Like,
I was cash in the day too.
Right. So, anyways, I was locked in and some guy didn't show up to work. So they said, hey, can you just, offload a few things from that pallet? And I was like, yeah, no problem. So I offloaded it, and dude, they ended up turning one pallet into like 5 pallets. And I was like, bro, this ain't part of the job description here. Okay. Like, what are we talking? Do I got to go make a call to the union? Like, what's going on here right now? Right. So the next day I come in and bro, out of nowhere, I'm like, yo, like, what the fuck? Something's wrong with my neck. Right. So I played contact sports growing up. I played hockey, baseball. Baseball, not a contact sport, but then I took on football. Right. And so I played 2 of my 3 sports were contact sports. So I ended up developing an issue with my spine. And they're like, I used to do CrossFit 5-6 days a week. And they're like, yo, you got to shut that down.
Speaking my language, kid.
Yeah. They're like, it's too high impact for what I'll tell you guys what I have when we're backstage, but they're like, it's too high impact. You got to shut it down. And so basically I was like, okay. And dude, I got to a point where I couldn't I was backing out of my driveway to drive to work and my neck locked and was like, yo, it's over. You I can't work. So I ended up going on, comp or whatever. And while I was on comp, I started doing the YouTube thing. And while I was in college, my first round of college, I took journalism because I actually wanted to get into sports talk. So I just used it as a transition and was like, yo, whatever. I wasn't happy doing what I was doing anyways. My wife has a really good job. She supported me. I was like, I'd rather try and see if I can build something here. And then here we are.
That's dope.
Yeah.
So my wife shout out to my wife because she's been my biggest supporter from day one.
I didn't know that you started with TD. I thought you started kind of just on your own with.
No, I started with TD.
I didn't know he was that. I thought he was newer.
He only had like 5,000 subs when I started out.
Hey,
Hey,
5,000
easy
subs
does
is a
it,
lot.
buddy.
5,000 subs is a lot there. Okay.
Yeah, but
So
remember,
relax.
what did he have? It was only him and Doug, and the Miami Miracle happened, right? And he got put up on the Miami social media thing for the Miami Miracle. The NFL, Good Morning Football with Nate Burleson, they came down and did a piece on him. So he had that kind of, stuff behind him, right? You guys none of us had that kind of momentum behind us built, right? Off the Dolphins haven't given us that kind of momentum other than a 70-point win. So, right? Like, he had a little momentum. You guys have built what you're building by yourself and building your momentum by yourself. So,
I think
stand on it,
he obviously, like, there's people at odds ends with him and the fan base just over like some of his takes. But listen, I gotta say one thing about TD is he had me on for like one of those round tables, the AFC round tables they do. And like behind the scenes, he's just like this gentle family man. And like I came in there like,
yeah, that broke up for a reason.
Reason cut his Wi-Fi.
Made a call.
Hey, quality control has failed at the Ghost residence.
I made a call to
my
Carter.
God.
My bad. Am I back?
Yeah,
you're good.
You're good.
All right. What is the last thing you heard?
He's gentle.
Yeah, he was like just like gentle guy, and I'm like, shit. Like now I don't know what to do on the podcast. But
oh my God,
a lot. I a lot of these things. These people are a lot of they play.
See, there's a lot of stuff behind the scenes people don't know.
I'm sure.
Me and him go. It's deeper than that. Like, listen, I could tell you, none of this would have happened if him and his wife didn't go live back in the day and they talked about me. And that's literally what set it all off and set everything in motion. So, and then there's a lot of stuff behind the scenes that people don't know about because it's a much deeper thing with me and TD than just two guys on YouTube.
I'm sure like everyone's, especially you and I, but like that's just one thing that I was surprised because I didn't have any other interaction with him besides that. And it shocked me. I was like, damn, dude, like people fucking hate you. Like,
people hate Doug. And Doug is the last person that ever tried to stir the water.
That's crazy. Doug literally is the same person online that he is offline.
Yeah.
Like, there's no difference at all.
Dude, that's what comes with the territory. The biggest thing in life, and it was, the first 2 years I started doing this, you guys remember me. I used to be on Twitter arguing with, I would defend myself and everything. Bro, I told Bobby, I haven't checked my notifications in like 3 years, because I figured if I don't check my notifications, I won't see the 1% of idiots that are trying to bait me into something. So
is that why you never respond to me?
Dude, I don't check my note. You know what I do? I told Bobby. You know what I talked to Bobby? If I'm not involved in something like what's gone on recently, I'll search my name every couple weeks and see. And so some people will get like day responses days later. And I found my peace of mind, bro. It was better for my mental health. Like at one point I looked down at my phone. I'm like, all this time I've spent arguing with people I could spend with my wife and my kids. What am I doing here?
Sarconi Sleepers wants to know what position you play in football.
I play quarterback.
Quarter or corner?
Quarter.
This guy knows.
And then on skeleton defense, and then on skeleton defense, I would play safety because I knew the playbook, and I knew what they were running, and I knew where the ball would go. So I'd try to make plays on the ball all the time. It was amazing.
Were you playing 7-on-7, 8-on-8?
What do you mean? No. I played rep football. I played high school football, and I played 1 year of college ball, and I quit in my first year of college ball.
Got ya.
Yeah.
Well, brother, man, we really, really appreciate you sliding on us today, man. That was a lot of fun. I think my favorite part was definitely the sleepover, but I
think it was the chat's
favorite video part.
Games, when we got into the games,
throwing out on video games, bro. I could do PS2 all fucking day.
It's funny too. Before the show, I literally said this. I said, dude, you get together, you never know what you're going to talk about. We were talking about movies, and dude, we get on the show, and the chat was like, dude, that was an incredible segment. Like, holy shit.
I gotta before we get out of here about games. Cool. Okay. You guys played Sega. Did you ever play the game Haunting?
Wait.
Do you remember that?
Let me look it up because I think I know what you're talking about.
Where you used to be able to go into like the TV and you were like a demon.
Yes.
You were a poltergeist.
It was the top down. Yes. And you used to go all the shit.
And you had to force
them.
It was fucking awesome.
The homeowners, you were trying to force them into a heart attack.
And they had the little bar at the bottom.
Yeah.
They had the little bar at the bottom of how fucking scared
and you
they
get
were.
sent to hell if you got caught, and you'd have to work your way back up from hell to the house. Like,
Jesus Christ.
yo, it was amazing. It was
that
epic.
shit was the best.
I see why
Yeah.
this game's not around anymore.
Yeah.
That would never work.
Well,
Dude,
remember
it was
Manhunt? Y'all remember when Rockstar made Manhunt?
Dude, they got killed. They would never be able to make that game. If you go on, so anybody listen right now who is too young to remember the game Manhunt, go on YouTube. You might not even be able to find it on YouTube, but go on YouTube and look up Manhunt Kill Compilation. They fucking banned this game like so quickly. They took it off the markets. They pulled it. There's some brutal shit. It's like a snuff film that you were playing. It was crazy, dude. That was insane. That game.
Because you know what I'm shocked, and I guess Manhunt is why I'm shocked. No one made like an open world GTA, but where you're a serial killer and you don't like you want to do whatever, you can't leave around clues and then like you turn on the radio, and if you leave clues, you hear that the police are on your tail and stuff like that, and the investigation. Like I'm surprised no one has done that, right?
That was incredibly specific. And we just want the police to know that we are not involved.
At FBI.
We are not. I have no affiliation with that whatsoever.
My brother is a game developer, so if you see it, I'm just saying.
You live very far away.
I think you could do that now in the GTA, like the role playing for GTA. You could do now.
Yo, Grandma's Boy,
classic.
Man.
Oh
so
man,
good.
Yes, dude. I used to come home.
Oh man,
I used to come home from practice and watch that movie every day.
High score. Is that good? Is that good? Is that good? I can't. I'm sure. I love that movie. Man.
Well, dude, the reason we appreciate you coming through, everybody in the chat, we appreciate y'all. Y'all been active all night. Glad we got to have a different kind of talk than just, the normal talk. Got some gaming in there. Just a good time. Guys being guys, if you're new, your first time finding us, please hit the subscribe button. Help us out. Hit that like button. Reason, any closing thoughts? I know you got stuff going on every night, but like, where are you at? Where can people find you? What you got going on coming up?
Just Phinside The NFL. Me and Dougley got our show tomorrow night, and I keep telling people, wait till you see what we got planned for the regular season with this. It's going to be a format no one's done, no one's seen. So it's going to be something good, and I think for all of you fans that love debates and heated discussions, this is going to be something y'all are going to really like.
Give us a hint on that, because you've been hinting it on the timeline like nothing as anybody's ever seen on this platform, on YouTube, nowhere is. Give us a little hint at what that is.
There's going to be a referee.
Oh wow,
yeah, that's crazy. That's
wow.
That's a good hint. That's
incredible.
That's a good hint. That's
with
pretty fucking good.
There's going to be a referee.
That's a good hint, man.
Yeah. So
that's really
and hopefully we see a side of Doug we've never seen before.
Are we talking about time? Do we have a timer involved?
No.
Okay. I was thinking like around the horn type. Maybe
is there Jello involved?
No, but there is a system and a format involved.
Okay. Very nice.
That's gonna be fun.
We're not doing that. That's not what we're doing.
We're not doing that.
All right. Reason, appreciate you as always, bro. This should have been done a long time ago, but we got it done. That's all that really matters. Appreciate you for coming through, man. We have a long history, ups and downs. Nonetheless, you're here, baby. We appreciate your time. We appreciate you coming through. Eric, if you want to send us out, baby.
Eric's got the button, baby.
Hit that red button.
Later, y'all. Fins up.